Let's go back in time with Logitech. Oh man, this brings back so many memories. I think they also had like this G15, but we'll be having the chit chat about the G19 because this is a keyboard I picked up from a flea market. I noticed somebody was selling this keyboard that was not in pristine condition. It was also missing the power supply. However, that doesn't spoil the fun because I managed to get myself a universal power supply with the right tiny barrel jack connection. The reason I wanted to do just a quick chit chat about this, because this is some pure nostalgia. In the time where we're just playing Crysis with the old school 8800 GTX graphic cards, and maybe later on the release of course many other ones. But for me, this was one of the keyboards I always wanted to have, because this thing was kinda cool actually. Have all kinds of very built-in cool perks that you didn't see with many keyboards before. And Logitech, I still find is one of those brands that I just love today. However, this changed, man. They've changed a lot when it comes to the overall, let's say, perks and cool things you can do with it. So when it comes to this membrane rubber dome key design, I must say that actually using this device is so weird because I'm so used to my mechanical keyboard now that has a completely different layout. So here you can see that this is one of the many problems I'm having with these older products, that the power supplies. Somewhere people always lose them, and finding an original one is going to be quite difficult, or it's going to be really pricey. This universal one, it's going to be one of the solutions we can actually do, and of course getting the right barrel jack connection, we can just plug it in, but be careful with voltages. If you're going to be having the wrong voltage, you're going to be frying it. However, I did notice that there are some bad lines inside of the middle of the Logitech LCD display. But will not spoil the fun. This thing was kind of cool. We can even adjust the screen to a certain viewing angle. And this thing came with some really cool inbuilt-in features. Of course, you need to have the right software. Of course, we needed to have Logitech software itself running. And also, the other problem I've noticed with these keyboards in general are, the missing stands at the bottom. So in overall, when you're going to be looking into the overall condition, this thing is pretty bad, and it's kind of funny that they implemented a GTX, and this is actually an old school sticker from the Trust company. So when it comes to the overall condition, also here with this piece of plastic, the part of the, let's say, tiny things are broken off. It still fits, but this is not going to be the overall fun experience that I actually hoped it was. So we have these G buttons that we can program into certain shortcuts. It's going to be super interesting if you're going to be playing some MMOs or you just want to program some files. I also realized now that this thing is really filthy, so we're going to be needing to clean it up. Then having the M buttons, we even have this special switch over here that I have no idea where it was for, and central D-pad on this device, and this has to do because we can just change the light up feature, but we also can change up, let's say, all kinds of other cool things. And yeah, I must say that when it comes to the overall conclusion of this keyboard, this thing had some really cool things to it. A really satisfying feel. Going to be honest, I really need to get used to this if we're going to be using this daily. Not going to be using it in this my editing PC. Maybe it would be fun to have it combined with an old school Windows 7, maybe Windows 10 retro gaming PC. However, so this display that comes with a 320 by 240 colors. It's a very cool gaming LCD panel. Made this thing pretty expensive back in the day. Which concludes you can put some game stats. You can even do some VoIP calls back in the day. You can use it for system metrics, media player, and even for tweets. We have so many cool things. The 12G keys, micro keys. Yeah, I think you're going to be even having the option to have like 3 macro profiles. So in total you have like 36 different programmable macro buttons. And the RGB style backlight is of course completely different than we're used to now with all of the cool settings. And if you have like a super expensive keyboard, you can even do all kinds of crazy things that every single button can actually be like a different, let's say, overall, configuration of light up feature. So the 2 powered USB 2.0 ports, that is even implemented in the keyboard. That is going to be super easy to actually like do some quick, let's say, plug in a headset and everything else. So when it comes to the overall, let's say, keyboard of this thing has some very, very nifty cool features. But the strength was this color LCD panel, so the LCD was a novelty for its time, and of course there was a really limitation when it comes to that. So the overall bulky size and weight, this is not of course the best device, or at least like keyboard you can find. No mechanical switches, and that is kind of a thing nowadays. Overall, I love the media features. Let me know in the comments, did you ever want to have one of these keyboards? I just wanted to make like a quick chit chat with you guys. It's more like pure for old school nostalgia in this case. Thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comments, give this video a like, and it would be great to see you in the next video.